With Shikamaru being the new 8th Hokage, people are under the impression that the prior Hokage, or the 7th Hokage, would do a far better job at protecting the village, and that Shikamaru is a big step down from not only Naruto, but also even the other fighters within the village. Today I'm here to tell you that that is just blatantly not true. If Naruto was to get unsealed today, he would not be able to fight these threats that we are seeing currently, that being Kawaki, Code, or even Boruto. These are fighters who, if they are comparable to one another, or minimum comparable to Code, since he is implied to be the weaker of the three, with Boruto stepping on his face and dodging his claw marks and having a newfound scar within the time skip, they all surpass Jigen. Jigen being someone who can casually, and while toying around, thrash Naruto and Sasuke within their 6 paths and Rinnegan states respectively. Jigen was so confident in winning that he allowed them to not only fight together, because he could have easily trapped Naruto in another dimension, or the time stop dimension, but he also allowed them to power up their avatars. He left them both at death's door pretty easily, and while he was running out of chakra towards the end of the battle, it is stated that he pretty much did that because he was toying around with them. And if he was to go all out, he wouldn't have gotten that crack on their stomach at all, he would have just killed them both. And before you say it, well, Naruto wasn't using Baryon mode, it wouldn't make a difference. And this is because 2 reasons. One of the reasons being, if you think Kawaki rivals Ishiki or is stronger than Ishiki now within the time skip, because he is, given how he should be not only 100% Otsutsuki, but also have unlocked the true essence of karma, stated by Code, giving him all of the power and knowledge of Ishiki's battle experience as well as his full dojutsu, along with his completely scientifically modified ninja tool body. Then Baryon mode could only weaken Ishiki a lot because of his 3-day lifespan, and he ultimately couldn't even defeat Ishiki. This is due to how the power of Baryon mode works. If he does these unnecessary movements and uses too much chakra, then the form lasts an even shorter amount of time than we see within the manga and anime. Given that he had to focus on solely landing the hits instead of putting a lot of power behind them when he was fighting Ishiki, so that he can also shave off his lifespan. That would imply that even if he was to use his full power strikes, they wouldn't get rid of Ishiki, given how he needed to resort to just shaving off his lifespan and not just pummeling him with his full power. So, Boruto and Code, by virtue, being anywhere comparable to this Kawaki would mean they're also comparable or above Ishiki. This should give them better results than what Ishiki achieved, given how they don't have a 3-day lifespan. But if you are one of those people who disagree with this scale, then I have another one. We know for sure that they are above Jigen. At the very least, due to being able to fight Code and give him a scar, and also having a 3-way standoff within the Hidden Leaf Village. Code is someone who, without his limiter, surpasses Jigen and Baryon Naruto, by virtue of Baryon Naruto not really having a way to put him down. Yes, Baryon Naruto hits harder, but just hitting someone really hard does not really win you the fight. Because even if he was to fight Code at full power and hit him really hard, the form would just fizzle out and Code would just have a minutely shortened lifespan and just get back up and beat up Naruto. While Naruto's pretty much having a heart attack on the ground because without Baryon mode it kind of kills Kurama and also weakens Naruto significantly. As we see at the end of the Ishiki fight, he passes out. So it's really due to the lack of stamina and ways to fully utilize this extreme power that Baryon mode grants Naruto. He can't really defeat anyone that's kind of close to his level, more or less. Which is why this form was specifically granted to him and specifically made, basically, to combat Ishiki's overwhelming power but underwhelming lifespan. And like I said at the beginning, 6-path Sage mode was already dealt with by a far weaker opponent, such as Jigen, who is not even Code's level, let alone Code with his karma mark, who should get multiple times faster and stronger. He would just do Naruto way worse than what Jigen could ever think of. This partnered with how all of them also have time, space, and ninjutsu, something Naruto has never been able to handle because he does not have a Rinnegan or Otsutsuki powers, so he's not able to traverse dimensions freely such as Sasuke, or even Kawaki or Boruto. All it would take is Kawaki to create a portal like he did in the first place, or Code to just put him in one of his claw marks, and Naruto's pretty much done for and out of the village forever, now that Sasuke also doesn't have his Rinnegan. And don't even bring up Sage Mode, since Sage Mode is just a way worse in every way, shape, and form 6-pass Sage Mode. Doesn't grant you as big of a boost in power, speed, awareness, or Hack's abilities. Code would just one-shot him the same he would one-shot 6-pass Sage Mode Naruto. People seem to misunderstand because Code has been taking L's to really strong opponents, such as Damon and Boruto, that he's some kind of jobber or very weak within the verse. But what you fail to realize is this still is an opponent that surpasses Jigen. The tides have changed and greater threats than Jigen have just arose within the Boruto universe due to the natural progression of power. So it's not that he's weak, it's more or less he's going against very strong people. We even begin to see a bit of the power creep within Boruto Part 1 with people like Delta, who while not being as strong as Naruto with his ninjutsu, is able to clash and beat up and even be relative to a Naruto who's going all out in taijutsu. She's weakening Naruto, actually damaging Naruto, and almost getting vital hits on a Naruto who is trying his hardest to dodge and punch her. And that's just any Kara inner. That's just Delta, someone who is nowhere near the power of Jigen, as he is the leader and the only full 100% Otsutsuki, and he also, when he arose, was able to just one-shot Naruto and Sasuke. Now still one question remains. Is there anyone else within the village who is more qualified, or just as qualified as Shikamaru to run the village, to where this situation seems kinda unnecessary? Well, that answer is also pretty simple. No. Before y'all say it, no Sakura, no Kakashi, and no Lee. Sakura has done almost nothing within the Boruto manga and is stated weaker than the 5 Kage, while also lacking any negotiation or political showings that we've seen within the Boruto manga, so she couldn't run a village even if she tried. Kakashi is probably a retired shinobi and also is weaker than everyone within the village, the same as Shikamaru. But unlike Shikamaru, hasn't been in office with the 7th Hokage to understand everything that's going on with the shinobi world. And I know many people will bring up, well, Hiruzen stepped back up when Minato died. That was because they were in a warring period, and Hiruzen also was not retired. He had just fought the Nine Tails in the Lee village, and he still, again, was in a warring period. And lastly, probably the worst person that people have brought up, we have Lee. Lee is not only weak, but he's stupid. So he's by far just the worst candidate. So at least for right now, Shikamaru is the best that we have to run the village. Lastly, to touch up on the if they teamed argument, if Naruto was not nerfed in Boruto, or now during the time skip didn't have, the losing of the Nine Tails with achieving Baryon mode, and if Sasuke didn't get his Rinnegan stabbed out by Borishiki, could they still stop Kawaki, Code, or Boruto? And the answer sadly remains the same. No, they could not. Naruto and Sasuke could not handle Jigen. Naruto and Sasuke could not handle Damon. Naruto and Sasuke could not handle Ishiki. And the weakest of these 3 people, Jigen, without trying or with toying around, was able to completely decimate Kurama Avatar Naruto in full perfect Susanoo Sasuke. Now this is again not to call Naruto and Sasuke weak or say, oh, they're like low tiers than the verse, because they still would be top 10 or top 15 within the entire Boruto universe, but they just aren't competing with the people that we have now. Damon is someone who could completely destroy Jigen and stated himself that it doesn't matter who's number 2 or number 3, he's number 1. And Boruto is saying that no matter how many times he trained, if he had 1,000,000 lives, he could never hope to surpass Damon. And he also just, no difficulty, beat up Code and had him running off to the Jubi to make Jubi clones. Code is someone, again, who far surpasses Jigen. Ida far surpasses Jigen. Ishiki far surpasses Jigen. Kawaki, Boruto scaled to Code, so they far surpass Jigen. So these people who were competing with Naruto and Sasuke within part 1 are just left in the dust now. That there's no reason for Naruto and Sasuke to be very strong. There's no reason for them to be able to stop Code. That's the exact reason why they were written out of the story. Even beings like the 5 Kage couldn't even handle Momoshiki, and Momoshiki is leagues below Ishiki. He was able to, as soon as he transformed, one-shot each individual Kage besides Naruto and Sasuke. Most of the good guys became basically obsolete when they introduced Kara. The only people who they could ever hope to take out is probably Kashin, Koji, or Boro. That's pretty much where the 5 Kage stop at. And Naruto being able to take out Delta but not being able to do anything to Jigen. So to make a long video short, Shikamaru is still the best we have. Even if he is not as strong as Naruto, even if he was, it would not amount to anything. He would have to be multiple times stronger than Naruto to even make a dent within Code, Kawaki, or Boruto. His negotiation skills alone and intellect should be the only thing people are worried about. You shouldn't even expect anyone to hold a candle to Kawaki, Boruto, or Code, given how they gained their power from alien gods. I don't even know how this discourse started, because he is just the most qualified within the Leaf Village to run it. He has the highest IQ, he's always been right-hand man to Naruto even when Naruto was Hokage, and he also just made the big decisions. He did the negotiating, he gave Naruto advice when Naruto didn't know what to do. On family matters and village matters, it's always been Shikamaru. Sasuke can't become Hokage because of all the war crimes he committed, and also how he's basically harboring a criminal, that being Boruto, who people think killed Naruto. So even if he came back to the village, he would most likely be locked up or forced to fight Shikamaru. So there's really just no one left. And you can't say, well, if it's Smarts, then why not Amato? Because Amato still isn't trusted by everyone, not even Kawaki, so Kawaki would most likely just kill him, or find a way to dispose of him within the time stop dimension. The only person that he trusts enough would probably be Shikamaru. Even though they had a rocky relationship within part 1, he probably understands that Shikamaru does not mean harm, and he just is basically doing the smartest thing he can think of. And also, with the shinobi way changing around him and Kawaki inevitably trying to destroy the entire ninja way, like we see in the fast forward with Boruto claiming he's still a ninja and why did Kawaki go this far, someone like Kakashi or very old people who were part of the generation before Naruto would most likely be the least susceptible to change. They probably would not want to get rid of the shinobi way, which would cause more issues for Kawaki. So Kawaki implanting Shikamaru, or allowing him to be Hokage basically, because Kawaki is just the strongest in the village and supposedly Naruto's son, is also just a good decision in general. With that being said, of course this is only with 1 chapter release, so we will have to see what Shikamaru decisions and power decisions he makes, as he is the 8th Hokage now. So of course, take all of this with a grain of salt. He may turn out to be super powerful, he may turn out to just be a dumb Hokage, but at least for right now, this seems like the best decision that anyone in the Hidden Leaf Village could have made. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye.